Hello everyone, welcome back to Tea with SSD Moe and Susan. We are here to talk about SSD Moe's first litter of puppies for Susquehanna Service Dogs. And they are now, they were 1 week old yesterday, so today they are, no, today's Thursday. Boy, we're all losing track of time. They're 9 days old. And I'll start today with a quick, this is what we do every day. It gets a little boring, but it's very necessary. So this morning I checked out Mo. She does not have a temperature. All of her milk producing teats are doing just fine. She seems healthy. She's eating. She went for a nice long walk, so Mo is good. Check there. So the puppies, of course the puppies, we weighed them and everyone gained. And so while I weigh them, I do a quick once over and look at each of them and say, you know, how you doing, puppy? And they all seem real happy today. So the big thing is that since they are almost 10 days old, our goal is for the puppies to double their weight by the time they are 10 days old, between 8 and 10 days. All right? So here's the weight chart for today. Here's the weight chart for today, and I'm going, hi Timmy, I'm going to ask you a question, Timmy. You've seen the weight chart. Have all the puppies, all 6 of them, doubled their weight since they were born?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
They have. Okay, very good. Thanks Timmy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so they've all doubled their weight, and actually some of them are taking off and going ahead. So the puppies are good. Now the other thing I've mentioned along the way here is that puppies, when they are born and for a little while, they cannot urinate or defecate by themselves. Remember, these are tiny little neonates for the first 2 weeks, and they have a lot of growing and catching up to do. When you compare them to something like a human baby, remember, a human baby is born with his eyes open, the baby can hear, and they can do a lot of things, but these puppies can't. So the one thing that they cannot do is to urinate or defecate on their own, and mom stimulates them by licking them. So here's a tip. This is not the time to be kissing your mommy dog when you have one in your house. And she also brushes her teeth quite regularly.
She also cleans the eats and stuff.
So, and don't forget, the reason that I just gave you that little tidbit there is that when she is licking the puppy to stimulate it to move its bowels or to empty its bladder, is that then she eats it. She just licks it up, and she keeps the pen really clean. Now today is a big day. Well, it depends on which side you're on, puppy side or the caretaker side. It's a big day for these puppies. They are learning to poop on their own. And if you will notice, we have a lot of towels spread out here because we had a few accidents. And Mo's over there taking a nap and says, "Oh, I'll get it later." So we're starting to do a lot more cleaning of, replacing of the towels that are in here. We have the towels in here all the time because underneath is vinyl flooring, which is easy to clean. Don't have to wash it, just in the washing machine. But what we need is a surface for the puppies to grip while they nurse and while they try to learn how to move. And that they can do when you have a nice piece of cloth here of some sort, that they can get some grip and move around the box and move towards mom. So that's pretty important that they have that. Also helps to keep them warmer. So also yesterday, I was talking about how we stress these puppies a little bit, and we do early neurological stimulation with them. So what we are doing is putting a little stress on their bodies, and their bodies will respond to that, so that they will grow up and go, stress, no big deal. So there is a question, and it's a very valid one. People might say, you know, you're raising these dogs to work. You're raising these dogs to put them in stressful environments for more often than a pet would do. Yes, We are. But our job, since this is what we are asking these dogs to do, to go out and work in the human world, our job is to prepare these puppies the best we can. The second part of the job is to determine when these puppies grow up, are they comfortable and happy doing this job? Many people ask me when I'm out in public with a puppy that I'm raising, and they say, oh, my dog would love to do therapy work and go to hospitals and nursing homes and all. And I say, yes, your dog may love to do that, but have you asked your dog? And that's where the hard part comes in, because remember, we communicate with language, and dogs communicate with their body language. So it's really hard for us as a human to ask a dog, do you want to do this work? So how do we do that? We do it by learning how dogs communicate, and we have to be able to read their body language as best we can, and sometimes it's not always easy to figure out whether the dog is comfortable doing what we are asking them to do. So what SSD does, and quite a few other programs, is that they have branched out and found several jobs that are available for these dogs to do. So that if SSD feels that one of these dogs is not suited to be a service dog and help someone with a disability, such as a mobility disability, they'll say, I wonder what else the dog could do. So perhaps the dog would like to work in a school and work with children. And that dog doesn't have to go to quite so many different public places. The dog goes as a routine, goes to the same place every day, meets the nice friendly kids every day, and that dog can be happy. Some of the dogs are like people. They have tons of energy. And remember, these are Labradors. They have this thing called a nose, and it really, some of them, their nose rules their brain. So rather than try to tell the dog, nope, can't use your nose, nope, you have to sit still, nope, you have to be calm, some of these dogs go on to work for the CIA as bomb detection dogs. And trust me, they love it. And again, the CIA would never spend 4 months, 7 days a week, training these dogs to do this job if these dogs didn't love the job that they are asking them to do. So, combined with SSD helping the puppies to learn how to deal with stress and working very hard at figuring out just what makes the puppy happy, that's how SSD, the trainers, and work on finding the right job for each puppy. And yes, some of these dogs just say, I don't want to do any kind of work. I want to be a pet. I want to live in a household and keep a household of people and kids and whatever happy, and that's what some of them do. It's not always easy to figure out, and there's a lot of head scratching. Trust me, there is a lot of head scratching that goes on to find the correct job for these dogs. And also don't forget that whenever a dog is placed with a partner as a working service dog, that SSD keeps an eye on these dogs and their partners for the lifetime of the dog, so that if any time along the way that the partner and SSD say, you know, this just isn't working, my dog isn't happy or can't perform the task the way I need them to, then a big powwow happens and perhaps that dog will be retired. It does happen. In fact, I'll tell you a story. Many years ago there was a dog. It was a lovely dog, and he was placed with a partner. He went through team training, and they were placed, and she went off to college, and he happily went with her, and his job was to stay with her when she fainted. She had a disability that caused her just to faint. She would just go down wherever she was, and he would go down and stay with her. And he took his job really seriously. In fact, after a month or so, he said, I am really doing this job. I'm going to worry about it, and I'm going to take care of my person. And he went above and beyond taking care of his person in the way that dogs do. Don't you dare come near my person when she's lying on the floor. No. And he became aggressive and worried so much that he retired. He just wasn't able to do the job the way he needed to be able to do it. And the right answer for him was to take that stress and that unhappiness away from him and let him be a pet, which is what he has done for the rest of his life, very happily. So again, Susquehanna Service Dogs and all of the service dog programs and guide dog programs work very hard to make sure that the dogs are able to handle the stress of an environment, and that's part of their daily life, and that they like the job they do. Another part that is very, don't forget, is that these dogs are Labradors, and they were bred to work with people. They love people. And golden retrievers, SSD does have a number of golden retrievers, and these dogs, as a breed, love people. Don't forget that any dog can do service dog work. Now, it's hard, but there are some that to have a little teeny tiny dog do retrieves for you, but they can do it. But a Labrador, one of the great characteristics of a Labrador is their friendliness. They're willing to go along with the flow and to work with you. So if someone says, why do you only have Labradors? That's the main reason. Of course, they retrieve easily, and it's easy to teach them to retrieve. And to do a lot of the other people-oriented parts of being a service dog. Now, I keep talking about how the puppies are growing and learning to walk, and I think they did this yesterday. They slept through the whole time you were watching them, and you can't see them walking around. Trust me, they are learning, but remember, they're puppies. They're still neonates, and they sleep a lot. They just ate. Moe's over in the corner taking her afternoon siesta, and all of the puppies are doing the same. So with that, maybe it's time for everyone to take a siesta. All right? And that's it for today. Join us tomorrow, and hopefully the puppies will be up and walking around tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.